Maul has responded. Not in the way we'd like to, but Maul's responded. Okay, let's go through some of these. The lies are always loud. The truth is always promised. Excuse me, the truth is always quiet. I promise you. All right. Hold on, there's some more here. Black people love to discredit one another. It's a disease that kills our community. I've been cool and quiet for too long. I'm allowed to get out of character for at least an hour, maybe 40 minutes. The truth is simple, usually short and simple. It's already resolved. Just time for people to know the truth. That's all. Smart people can see the lies. Some people are just looking for entertainment. Lies are usually that. That's why reality TV is a hit. Hold up. Trust me, I'm blessed. My karma is beautiful. Everything will be addressed only for the supporters. They deserve the truth. Only for the supporters. That's interesting. I'm not with the corny shit. I'm only willing to sit down and address everything because people supported something for years. They deserve that. Cool. Obviously, we know Joe Budden has fired Rory and Maul. I'll cut right to it. I just felt it was important that you got a brief update on that. Look, man, you cannot audit your friends. You can't do that. That is a serious form of disrespect. It really is. You can't do that. All right? It's just what it is. So Rory 100% wrong for that. Joe Budden 100% wrong for, I know he said that he was going to do that even when they were there on the podcast, but they weren't there on the podcast. And if you intend on having any type of relationship with these people afterwards, I think that's done. That you're wrong.
He made that very clear. He even said that he's done with friends. So
yeah.
He didn't give a fuck about that.
And then the last point that I'll make here is Rory did make his bed with DJ Academics. He really did. He made that bed. King size bed, big bed, a lot to, double down goose feathers. He made that bed. He's got a lie in it. But the fact that Joe Budden is still working with Ak, it says one of two things. Either Joe Budden's relationship with Rory really wasn't anything, or Joe Budden just values money more than his relationship with Rory. Because at the end of the day, nigga, if me and you are rocking and somebody got a problem with you, they got a problem with me. It don't have to be physical unless they make it physical. But if they have an issue with you, we can't rock. And that's just what it is. You understand what I'm saying? Regardless if you started it. Even if you started it. I'm not gonna talk about it and shit on you in public. I'll do that to you in private. I'll be like, nigga, you're stupid. But I won't do it in public. And there's no way that I'm rocking with the person that you have beef with. That's how I'm built. Okay, what are your thoughts?
I don't know. That's a tough position, right? Because I gotta look at it from Joe's perspective. Like he built this, you know what I mean? And these guys kind of came on after he kind of had to establish a little buzz himself. And let's be real, if this podcast was the Rory and Maul podcast and Joe Budden wasn't there, would it have been as successful? No, it wouldn't have. It was the man who created it, who started it, who owned it, that deserves all the credit. So any questions about these things, either A, should have come earlier, or B, if you wanted to bring them up at that time, bring them up in a fucking civilized way. The audit way is aggressive, homie. He said that they never asked him no questions about their contract. You know what I mean? So if they never asked him directly, and these guys are saying that they're friends and that these are lies, why isn't anybody responding to that? There's certain things that he said that they could have responded to directly without lining out the full story, for monetary purposes, clearly, attention purposes, clearly. If they're really concerned about the truth, it doesn't matter if it's your loyal fans. You want everybody to know the truth. You know what I mean? You don't just want your loyal fan. What kind of shit is that? You want people who have your side already to hear your truth only? That's what you're telling me? Does that make sense?
Well, to me, that I'm assuming you're talking about the mall tweet.
Yeah, the mall tweet.
To me, because Rory spoke to that briefly as well. Rory said it's a great run. Well, I'll get to the messy shit later. And then the mall tweet. To me, what that clearly says is Rory and Maul are going to violate their contract yet again. Because Budden, which again is fucked up, Budden's like, look, hey, your contract says you cannot start a podcast anywhere for another year. And if you do, I'm going to sue the pants off you. His words. He's going to sue his... That's crazy. So, and then I seen Ebro at Rory, and he's like, fuck the lawsuits. You need to do a podcast right now. Run with the momentum. So what Rory's saying, I'll address the messy shit later. What Maul is saying, these supporters, that tells me that they are going to try to monetize their side of the story. That's what it tells me. That's what it tells me. That's what I'm seeing too. But listen, I listened to the entire podcast from the audio that you could find on the internet of what he said during that whole thing. And the points that he made, listen, there's always three sides to the story, right? There's one side, the other side, and then somewhere in the middle is kind of the truth. So I'm going to sit and I'm actually going to wait to hear Rory and Maul's side of the story. But listen, after what Joe Budden said, there's very little things, especially listening to academics too who knows about the situation. There's very few things I think these guys can say to convince me that Joe Budden was in the wrong in this place. It seems like it was two guys who are allowed to be on a podcast, who helped build it. It did grow while they were on it, so you can't deny that. And they were getting paid substantially well for it. They got to a point where Joe started making more money from this podcast, and they got a little bit jealous. The difference is Joe Budden was trying to do things outside of the podcast as well to build his own brand, to make his own brand bigger. If Rory and Maul had taken the time to try to build brands outside of the podcast, they could have come to Joe with some leverage. Yep. Just like Joe... Sorry, go ahead.
No, but I'm done. But I was going to say, but when you sit there and you don't do nothing, boom.
But just like what Joe said, when they wanted to get paid off the YouTube, Joe was like, no, it's my YouTube. But check this out. Everything we film moving forward, you can have control of the footage, put it on your YouTube channel, monetize. He said he told this to Rory and Maul. They never did it. So again, I see just on, because we only really got Joe's side other than when they first sat down. Just on Joe's side, I see right and wrong on both. You're right. I want to hear what Rory and Maul has to say. But if any lesson is to be learned here, do not do contract business with your friends. You want to know why I be specific on that? Is because when you just do business with your friends, but no contracts, you can be like, fuck you nigga, I'm gonna beat you up, da-da-da-da. And that's it. There's really no ties after that. You can just say, fuck that nigga. Might even shoot a nigga, but that's it. But when you have a contract and you do business with your friends, and then the business dissolves, like the separation, the friendship is even done, you can continue to fuck them. Budden said it. You do a podcast in the next year, I'm suing the fuck out of you. This is why you don't.
That's the resentment that could happen.
Yeah, so I'm not suggesting don't do business with your friends. Just don't do contract business with your friends.
If you are gonna do business and you can do contract business with your friends, the one thing that you have to do is not be scared to always be honest with them. If it's your friend, they should be able to handle it whether it's good or bad. And once you get scared to be honest with the person, which is what normally happens, people will sit inside of them and grow resentment. Like this type of shit will happen. And they're not honest, and then this type of shit comes about.
That's why I think
it's just about honesty.
That's why I say fuck the contract, because if you're upfront, you're transparent, and you're honest, what do you need a contract for? Because the only reason you need a contract is because, oh shit, I might be shady later, and I don't want this person to go anywhere.
But you might have to save yourself from that, because people in times of anger sometimes they might do some spiteful or some resentful shit. So you want to protect yourself from that. You're not saying it's just like a marriage contract. Just like a marriage contract, you know what I mean? It's when you sign a little prenup there.
I don't believe in prenups either.
Me neither, but they exist. You know what I'm saying? So people do them, not saying we're going to get divorced. Nobody signs a prenup saying, yo, we going to get divorced. But if we do, I got to make sure that I'm okay. I think that's all it's about.
Viewing public, what are your thoughts here? You've seen it all play out. If you haven't, keep going on YouTube. The full episode's there somewhere. They go up, they come down. But what are your thoughts? Who was in the right or wrong here? Joe? Rory? Maul? Were they all a little fucked in the bee? I think so. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And at some point, me and my guy will have our drama. We'll try to make it just as entertaining as this one. Deuces.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, we'll try.
Hopefully we're mature enough to just have a conversation on the podcast. Hopefully
it's about millions. I'm okay with that.
Listen, if we're arguing about a few $1,000s, we need to rethink.
Oh, Lord.
It better be when $100 million deals.
Yeah,
Spotify
I'm okay
deals
with
come
arguing
around.
over millions.
It better be that. It better be that.
That's
yeah,
fine
for
with
real.
me.
Make it worth it.
Thank you guys so much for watching that video. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe.
Yo, Chris, we got to 200 subscribers, man.
Finally.
You know what I'm saying? But we don't want to stop there. We have a new goal. The new goal is 500 subscribers. So what I need you to do, I need you to like these videos over here. I need you to subscribe right here, man. Two guys doing the podcast, man.